Welcome to this conversation, the Morning Tea Marketing Missus. If you haven't joined us before, you will learn that the purpose of what we do here is to offer valuable tips to small business owners and sole traders, help improve their online presence and just how they do business and can be in life. As those that have followed us, you'll know that there's a whole lot of different topics. This month, we're talking finance, and our hosts today are myself, Janine Vosper. I help people communicate more effectively. They've got Lara Arden, and Lara is a business awards coach. Jan Roche helps people with their websites and also over 50s fitness. And Narelle's going to be sharing her ideas on finances today. And Narelle is an accredited accessibility auditor. Hey, ladies, I always look forward to these conversations.
Yeah, me too. How you going? How's everybody been?
Yeah, really good.
Good.
Yeah.
And I will mention, Jan, you didn't need to show the photos of Skip Point this week. Thank you very much for making me feel good. Or not.
Yeah, they were talking about my photos of Airlie Beach too, Jan. You know,
Yeah.
I saw those too.
Amazing.
And it's all right. Lara and I are going to do the actual research for Janine.
Yes.
Nice.
Let's discuss that.
We've got it covered.
We'll do the trip to Cairns.
Yeah. So look, ladies, do you know what the theme this week is? Considering it's June.
We're talking about money and finance, right?
Money. What did ABBA sing? Money. Must be
Yeah.
funny in the rich man's world. Well, I
Yeah.
don't think any of us are rich. So
It depends on how you look at rich. Like, what's rich to you?
rich to me is my family. So I am very rich that way.
Yeah.
Money in the bank? No, I'm not rich. But do you know what? It doesn't matter how much money you've got. You still need to budget, don't you? You still
Yeah. That
you know,
never
it
ends.
It doesn't. I know. I remember when my kids were little, and I knew every cent that we spent. I could tell you, and I'd say to my husband, "Okay, this is the amount of money we've got," because I'd sit down with our wages and apportion it all out, and kids, husband, me, nothing, kids, because that's what you had to do. By the time you paid the mortgage and paid the food and paid the medical, you had nothing left in the bank, and we've all
was that
been
those
in that
17%
situation.
interest rates
Oh,
too, Narelle days?
Yeah, it would have been.
yeah, it was. I remember
Yeah.
I actually sat my father down because he couldn't understand why I didn't stay home from work. And I put I was cranky. Okay, I was really cranky. And I put my husband's wage slip in front of him and said, right, that's the fortnightly pay. He goes, yep. And it's okay. Mortgage. And I wrote down everything. And one of our son at the time was lactose intolerant. So he was on that back then it was very expensive lactose formula for lactose intolerant babies, and and then all just the standard stuff that comes with babies. And don't forget, back then it was cloth nappies. We didn't have to buy nappies.
Yes. I remember.
Yeah. But at the end of it, and added food, and my father said that, you're in the red. And I'm saying, yep, that's right. You're in the red. And I said, yeah, I am, Dad. That's why I've got to go back to work.
Yeah.
It's not like I can't not work. And that habit stayed with me. And I know for my sons, I've always been on at them. Make sure you know where your money goes. And I think that equally applies in everything, doesn't it? You need to know where your money goes. We're in a startup business, and we're in a niche that a lot of people don't know about. You ladies have known about it because you hear me going on about it all the time.
Don't know about it yet, Narelle.
Yet. True. Digital accessibility. And one of the first things everyone says to me, oh, it's expensive. Why do we need it? And I'll say, well, when you do your budgets, do you account for your lost sales? And they said, what do you mean? I said, the sales you don't get because the people can't read the information, can't access the information. And they go, oh, hadn't thought of that. And that's something I think people need to put in their budget, the money they lose. If it's a household budget, those little things like buying you buy an ice cream maybe once a week, but buying an ice cream every day, that's money you lose. You don't put it in the budget. You cannot afford to do that. So if business is not looking at all the ways that they can make the most of their budget, including their communication, because Janine, Jan, you guys, and well, the three of you are really fully in communication, aren't you?
Mm.
That's a huge loss, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah.
What do you think?
If you're not
God.
communicating well, Narelle, is that what you mean?
Yeah, if they're
Yeah.
not communicating well, that's a loss to the business, isn't it?
Mm.
Mm.
How
Yeah,
do you account for that in a
Mm.
budget?
yeah, you're leaving money on the table when you're missing
Yeah,
out on sales opportunities,
yeah.
because they're all out there.
Mm.
They are out there, and it's quite interesting. I keep looking up. Someone once said to me, when you're looking up to the roof, you're thinking, Narelle. And I thought, just realized I'm looking up at the roof. But it's like anything. I mean, you've got to make the most of your opportunities. And as we were all bringing up kids through that 17%, and that was so hard. So we learnt to make the most of our opportunities.
Mm.
And I think everyone today, look at what you're missing in lost sales, make the most of your opportunities, and try and drop that percentage of lost sales. It's so important. What do you ladies think?
Mm.
I
I
filled
like,
out and right in Lara's world today, I filled out an entry for an award that I actually won last year, and that was
Yeah.
filled out for this year. And it was great. I had a copy of everything I put in last year,
good on you.
revised it
Excellent.
and updated it because it was the same
Perfect.
questions. That
Yeah.
was
Mm,
the answers hadn't changed greatly, but a lot of that was to do with how can I save money, and it was to do with sustainability and that's where they wanted most of the answers, and apparently that's what I answered well. But how can you continue to be sustainable? And that's something that you need to be looking at when you've got a budget. I know, I've been in what I've been doing since 2007, so it's 17 years,
Mm.
and it's not, it doesn't, you don't stay in business that long if you're just spending willy-nilly and you're not getting that balance of income and outgoing. And I
yeah.
know that's what I'll talk about when we do the next conversation, is looking at what you're spending your money on and how you might be able to save money, because it's really easy in business to go, yeah, I'll get that. And
Yeah. But
Mm.
it's really the money you do spend, is spending it wisely. And obviously for me, I do think digital accessibility is spending it wisely, because it doesn't matter who it is, if you're not communicating well,
Mm.
you've lost the sale. I don't know whether there's much more I can say, just that, when I'm the first off the rank with finance, and when we look at finance and budget, tax time, this is when we need to be really re-looking at our budgets, looking at how we're spending our money, looking at what are the opportunities we're missing,
Mm.
and how we can enhance those opportunities. And part of it comes back to the way we're contacting people and how we're communicating with people.
Mm.
And it all comes back to your budget. Don't communicate properly. You can budget all you like.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
make a difference.
Can I be vulnerable for a moment, ladies, and share something with you, even on the topic of budgeting alone, because, the idea of budgeting was something that until recently, it was quite an obstacle or a stumbling block for me, because my last marriage, I came out of a DV relationship and there was financial abuse. And so, getting past and beyond all of that, one of the things I had to do in, starting a business for myself was get comfortable with looking at spreadsheets and filling them in, and and then keeping a track of my money as well. And actually found that quite intimidating, because there was trauma associated with spreadsheets, for me with the ex. And so that was quite difficult for me to know, oh gosh, I've got to be in business, but I've got to know my numbers. I've got to do the maths. Geez, I need to do spreadsheets. How can I do this? And I ended up coming across a really good book by an author called Mike Michalowicz, who wrote Profit First. He's written a number of other books as well. And one of the strategies that he gives is, he says, look, if budgets are too hard and spreadsheets, you can actually bypass it. And that just felt like a waterfall of refreshment, when I read that, and I was listening to it on his audiobook, because I read it through a few times so I could understand it and realize how it works. And he basically says, look, you can have a budget through your bank account. So if you're not good with spreadsheets, don't feel like you can't budget, because if you use your bank accounts like buckets or like envelopes like they used to do back in the day, you can still manage your money. You can see where it's going. You can have, you know, you can have different accounts where you've got money put aside for this, that, and the other to help, you know, build sustainability and build profitability in your business. And he said, you start small. And, you know, like he said, it's just a matter of sorry. Yeah. Sorry, it's just, that means we've got 5 minutes to go. It's just a matter of recognizing that if you start small, even with 1%, you know, like he says, and then every quarter you increase it, like you might double it to 2%. And then the quarter after that, you double it again to 4% profitability, and you learn to live off the rest. And since I've implemented that as a strategy, that has just sort of like, you know, taken all this, like anxiety and overwhelm I had about spreadsheets out the window. And it's just been another way of doing things so that I can still keep on top of it.
Actually, the book
awesome.
that I read is The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yeah, I
That's a good one.
love that
Exactly.
book.
Yeah.
Love
Love
it. I
it.
have read and read and read it, and it's
Yeah.
the same premise.
Yeah.
Exactly the same premise.
Yeah.
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 Always.
Both good examples of
Yeah.
books that you can follow. I have to own up. I'll do an own up thing as well. I pay my BAS every quarter, and I have the money put aside for that. You know, I make sure I do. And then I did last year's tax in early this year, and then it was my accountant came back to me and said, "You owe quite a few $1,000s," and I've gone, money, I pay tax. And I went, oh no, I haven't paid tax. I paid my BAS, but I hadn't paid tax.
Yeah.
It was okay. So I had to do that today. I had to go and grab it out of bank accounts and pay my tax from 22, 23.
Oh,
That's
I'm
wow.
not going to be caught on that again. Which
That's
Yeah.
a big thing that a lot of businesses get caught out on, is that they think they're paying their BAS. That's great, but they don't think about income tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a massive thing. There you go.
Yeah. So that
So-
was my holiday savings. So I went, oh, okay.
Well, the good thing is you had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was-
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not due till the 17th, so I've sort of left it to the last possible time to
Yeah.
pay it as well. Better in my pocket.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you, Narelle. I think that's such an important factor, though, is looking. But what you're saying also is being aware that there's certain things you need to invest in, and are you losing business if you don't invest in
Yeah.
those?
Mm.
And really making sure that where you're spending your money is in the right places for
Yeah.
your business growth as well as what you're saving on. Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
That's
Brilliant.
it, ladies.
Yeah, excellent.
What did my mum used to say? Well, she still says it, look after the pennies and the pounds look after themselves.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a
And a
while since we've
percentage,
had
as
pennies and
percentage
pounds.
here, percentage there, it all
Yep.
works out, all
Yeah.
saves
Yep.
and adds up for us.
Definitely.
Mm.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that, Narelle, and thank you for everybody for your comments in that. And that's another episode conversation with Morning Tea Marketing Misses. Remember to check out our YouTube channel and like and comment anything that you found that you value, or any comments that you might have about your finances. We'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye for now.